TAZEDMOUSE too. And we're here with some Amnesia, the Dark Descent. This is actually the Amnesia collection, so I have like the Justine and Machine for Pigs. So we're gonna also play those too. What follows is a couple of quick messages on how to get the best experience. Amnesia should not be played to win. Instead, focus on immersing yourself in the game's world and story. Do not worry about when and how to save during gameplay. The game will take care of that for you. When you want to leave the game, just choose and save and exit. You can then use continue to return when you left off the next time you start up the game. The world of Amnesia is a dangerous place. You're extremely evil. Do not try to fight enemies. Use your wits. I'm not wearing headphones because I do have ringing in my ears, so I'm not gonna try that. And I have very bad coughing, by the way, guys.
Don't forget, some things must be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Oh my god, I coughed so freaking far that I... Oh wait, no, maybe that was just there. Follow the liquid trail and find its source.
Hi, my name is Thomas Grip, and I'm one of the co-founders of Frictional Games. I work with engine code, gameplay code, design, and many other things for Amnesia. In my commentaries, I will mainly focus on the design behind the different parts of the game. I hope you'll enjoy them.
I guess I can't carry it. taking this chair. Fucking stop. No. The main story is going to take 8 hours. Hell, I might not even make it 8 hours. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit, this. No, I don't like this. No, I'm actually gonna keep these on.
This is one of the first levels that were created for the game, and it was initially part of the archives level, which we will reach in a bit. Amnesia started out with a pretty different design, and when we redesigned it, the maps did not fit. This caused us to split them up and scatter them out. So in the first design, after this corridor, the archives level was supposed to follow, and the room lying there now was built much later. In fact, the first designs did not have Daniel waking up with an amnesia at all, and it was actually added later on. In the first story draft, Daniel still had hidden memories, but he was unaware of this at the start of the story. However, as we redesigned things, we found a waking up with Amnesia thingy, although a bit cliché, much more fitting.
Hi there, my name is Visual. I'm mostly a tool programmer, JavaScript at times, and perhaps the main reason why the rest of the core team at Fictional Games is pretty much forced to speak English at our internal meetings, as I am the only non-Spanish. Now, what a Spaniard is doing with a bunch of Swedish guys is a whole different
There's an
story
inventory.
than we'll be discussing today. By the way, I will be talking mostly about tools and scripting. Hope you like it. The editors themselves went through a lot of design changes during the development. Not that many in visual appeal as in internal stuff, like data structures and handling. This happened mostly because at the beginning we only knew the basic stuff that needed to be in them, and as they grew in features and functionality, they started to kind of fall apart, mostly due to my big lack of previous experience in projects like this. Right now, aloud what the hell still sounds in my head when I look at some parts of the code, but I am still proud of them. They can also get a bit buggy at times, but hopefully this won't happen again in the future. And I already got some nice ideas for the next iteration of the tool.
I know there's like one part where you have to like, there's like a lock, but it's like broken or something. So you have to like get some acid. Some girl called me, all I asked was, is this crusty crab? Followed by a comment.
August 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there'll be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
Hello everyone, my name is Mikael, and I'm the writer for Amnesia, The Dark Descent. I think we can all feel the story kick-starting as we finish the letter from Daniel. The game itself is just filled with confusion, and I think we're really doing the player a service keeping it simple in the beginning. Basically try to take your revenge on Alexander, that is the premise of the game. You don't really need to dive any deeper than that, but hoping that the player will care about the story, they have the entire game in front of them to decide if they think killing Alexander.
Was Hansel the girl?
Hello, my name is Mark Nikander. I'm a 3D artist and level creator at Fictional Games. I started out as a helper during Penumbra Overture, and was finally hired as a full-time artist in the later part of Penumbra Black Plague.
Yeah, have you not? I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
The entrance hall was first shown in our first gameplay trailer, and while the layout hasn't changed much, the details certainly have. We build our levels from sets of pieces, in this case, the custom-based set. While the carefully planned set pieces made level building very easy, the levels became very similar, and we had to make special pieces to the levels. Now, 1.5 years later, the special pieces make up about half of the pieces in custom-based set. We made changes to incorporate these objects into the earlier levels.
This is one of the many hub levels in the game. And this is a design concept that we started out with in Penumbra. The idea is to give the player some freedom on where to go, but at the same time give a clear objective. In this level, the slime obstacle is a thing that the player needs to get past, and all other levels then have things needed to do so. The slime itself is one of the few puzzles left from the initial designs, and the one I'm probably the least proud of. Now that slime appears all around, it feels a bit forced that you need to have a potion on the slime. Many testers also complained that they wanted other options in getting rid of the slime, like burning it. However, creating a potion is the central theme for this hub, so we had to let it be. I don't think it's that bad, but we probably could have redesigned it if we had time.
Blue bastard.
Hello, my name is Mark Nikander. I'm a 3D entrance hall was first shown in our first gameplay trailer, and while the layout hasn't changed much, the details certainly
Scattered
have.
throughout the game, you can see some signs written in Latin. The reason for using it is that it was considered a language of culture and science, as most scientific and philosophic authors wrote their works and treatises in it. As we are dealing with a castle dwelled by a pretty smart guy that has been around since the... If you haven't followed our development blog back when it started, you might have missed one of the biggest changes in our production pipeline. 2 years back, we started a toolset side project to ease and speed up the creation of content for the game. I'd say the level editor, which is what we, or more specifically James, Mark and Marcus, have used to build all the halls and corridors you are working through right now, is the big star of the pack. Its workings in a nutshell, while all the models and assets are actually made in software like Maya or Blender, everything geometry-wise in the levels is put together in it, then lighting and 3D details.
Apparently I am going the right way.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun. Later that evening, tomorrow.
To finish this little overview of our tools, I must mention the material editor, available both standalone and built into the other editors. The program itself is very simple to use. You have some material types defined by the engine, and you can throw in textures to be used for diffuse, normal matte, height matte. Another piece of the toolset is the model editor, used to create the entities you are interacting with while playing. Basically, we take a model and set up some parameters like physical bodies, joints, and user-defined variables. We can also
17th of May,
attach sub-entities
and
to
today,
them, like lights, particle systems. When an entity is
This
finally
level was changed a lot, and I think it's one of the most tweaked levels that we got. Not only was it part of the big archives level that we had to split up, but it was also hard to get it engaging enough. The problem here is that we don't have any sort of fun mechanic that we rely on to make the game engaging. Instead, we rely on story, atmosphere, and environments. This is true for many other levels and the game as a whole, but this was kind of one of the larger levels that we made, and also one that didn't have much puzzles and such. So when testing it, we quickly get bored with it, and we wanted to add more spooky events to spice it up. But then later on, testing proved that these events weren't that necessary, and we also felt that they were a bit lame and not fitting, so we decided to remove them. Then, the back part of the level, we wanted to make that a more linear experience, with the current player getting trapped and all, forcing the player to solve the destroy wall and find secret door puzzles. Previously, testers often missed that they can solve these problems. The level is now very different from the early designs.
When I started writing, I had only outlined the framework for the story and the first few levels in the game design document, so I ended up finalizing a lot of material for the first levels, and then when those were done, we planned out the last 2/3 or so. This had a funny effect since I had to not only cater to the story, but to stay true to the stuff I had written for the first levels. Usually you can go back and forth while writing and change things, but if you have already recorded voices, you really shouldn't because of the costs. So the first text really shaped the rest of the material in an interesting way, and made them matter in a way I hadn't thought about. I really like how this thickens the story elements, as I am able to jump back into the material and keep using and reinforcing certain concepts. Agrippa is of course the most extreme effect of this method, which grew from a small reference to becoming one of the most important characters in the game.
It won't take long until things start falling apart.
we're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the wars. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble, and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
17th May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light. It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit... excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
I took my headphones off. They're just now around me. I've reduced the volume because I'm a bitch. Oh, it's good. Somebody just fucking stabbed you. Creighton.
If you haven't followed our development blog,
So now we gotta go through this door.
you might have missed one of the biggest changes in our production pipeline. 2 years back, we started a toolset side project to ease and speed up the creation of content for the game. I'd say the level editor, which is what we, or more specifically James, Mark and Marcus, have used to build all the halls and corridors you are working through right now, is the big start of the pack. Its workings in a nutshell: while all the models and assets are actually made in software like Maya or Blender, everything geometry-wise in the levels is put together in it. Then lighting and sweet details like decals and fog are added in. While this approach might sound simple, really nice stuff can come out from it, as you can see in the game.
The sewer slab. Which sewer slab?
A major design guideline for us was to give each level a unique theme, something that all puzzles, events, and the general atmosphere was built upon. This makes each level a little piece of the story and theme at large, and also gives them focus so the player is not distracted with too much information. The theme in this level is the strange creatures that lurk in the castle. The player first spots them momentarily in archives, so now is the perfect place to build some fear. There is never any real threat in this level, but it's much darker than any before, and there's a constant pressure with boards creaking and the like.
Then it's simple. I'll just watch a playthrough of this and then just rush through the whole damn place. Yeah. Guys, please like and subscribe. I'll probably continue this. Ugh, God, can't do nothing on Friday. Probably maybe not tomorrow. Definitely. Maybe I could probably do something on Friday, but it'll be pretty late. But it definitely won't be this on Friday. So, and what else? I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably do some Infamous maybe on Saturday. No. Saturday, Older 2 comes out on Friday, so Saturday's gonna be Older 2, because I'll get that next day. But I'll also be pretty busy this week as well. So guys, please like and subscribe, and I'll see all you guys next time. Bye.